Of the foundations of the resurrections of thy God there are two kinds, one who deals with those who are already born, and the other with such who are not yet born. For after thou hast purified thyself as to flesh and spirit, two conditions are open to thee, celibacy and marriage. To such as are by nature inclined to celibacy, let them rejoice, for in not having offspring they shall have less bondage after death to remain in the lower heavens, and to return to the earth to their kindred. For it is a great glory to make themselves brides and bridegrooms to the Great Spirit, to be his for righteousness' sake. But as to thee, who desireth marriage, pursue thou the same course as to purity and holiness of person as to thine own resurrection. For in this thou shalt be graded also, according to what thou doest. The delight of thy God, who hath dominion over both the earth and her heavens, is to witness the birth as such as come from the pure in flesh and pure in spirit. In likeness of the father and mother are all children born into the world, and every child is a new creation, quickened into life by the presence of the Creator, who is the all-life. If thou art pure in flesh, thy child shall be pure, and if thou art pure in spirit, thy child shall be pure. If thou art a flesh-eater, a drinker of strong drink, and user of narcotics and other unclean things, thy child shall come forth with thy contamination upon it. Consider then what thy grade shall be, which shall be according to thy heirs as to their grade in the place where they are born, as to whether thou encumberest the world with progeny lower in grade, or liftest up the world by progeny of an exalted grade. Be wise as to the selection of thy partner as to purity and righteousness, but be not deceived by such as eat not flesh merely, for the purification of the corporal body is but half the matter. Look for one who is also pure in spirit. For whoso is pure in flesh and in spirit shall bring forth heirs unto resurrection, who shall be little or no bondage to the spirit after death. But whoso marries for the earth only shall bring forth heirs of bondage, and profligacy and debauchery and sin shall come upon the heirs of that marriage. The spirits of such fathers and mothers shall fall in the grades in heaven, and long will be their bondage in Hades, the lower atmospherian worlds. Flesh eaters seek their partners according to the impulse of their flesh. Narcotics eaters taketh the same, the temptation thereof according to riches or case, all of which are earthly considerations, and for themselves only, and in no regard as to what their heirs will be. And their offspring come forth in darkness, they are void of any psychic ability, void of any aspiration, and dumb as to the voice of the Creator. They go about saying, I see no all person, I see no the unseen, nay, I believe not that any man has seen or heard him. Herein was it revealed to thee of old, some are born of the beast, and some are born of the Spirit, which I declare unto you, old man, in the interpretation of all the poverty and crime and war and licentiousness there is in all the world. This is the fountainhead which thy God would bring to the understanding of all people. But there are many, even hundreds of millions, that cannot be made to appreciate this. Nevertheless, the kingdom of peace and righteousness shall not cover the earth over until this is understood by all men and women. Whoso understands this, let him wed accordingly, and let such people be as societies to themselves. In this way, no mark of circumcision is required, and women shall converse closely the ways of the Creator understandingly. When thou hast children born unto thee, thou shalt be more consider the place of thy habitation as to temptation than thy dominance over them. To dwell in a city which is full of iniquity, thou shalt be a tyrant over thy heirs, restraining them from liberty in order to keep them from vice. In this thou wilt be a sinner also. But if you dwell in a place of purity, and give unto them liberty and nobleness, they shall not be thy slaves. In this matter they takes upon thyself a new grade, accordingly to thy heirs, and the godship over them. Be cautious in thy proceedings. He who created thee alive gave thee no sinful desires. Because thou art not yet a completed man, these things are. Thou shalt find joy in thy talents and profit in the wisdom of God. To perfect thyself is great glory. To raise up sons and daughters who are also perfect is a tenfold greater glory. For it is the fullness of the life thy Creator gave into thy keeping, which is the glory of heaven and earth.